So we are at the Edinburgh Fringe 2019. I'm here with Rosalind Ford. You've got a show up here. You were also in Just So, the musical.
Yes.
And back in December. And you're also going to be playing cello in Daddy Longlegs the musical this October at the Barn Theatre. So it's quite an event. You know, I'm so glad you could come up. We could meet and have a little chat for the Barn Theatre podcast. So what have you been up to? What's your show? And tell me a bit about your experience of the Fringe this year.
Oh, well, this year is actually my favourite Fringe so far. I've done the Edinburgh Fringe quite a few years. But this year we've come back up with a couple of shows we've done at previous Fringes. As late as last time was 2016, so we've revived some old favourites, and it's great because it means we've already got a cult following. We're doing the company's Beach Comet, and we're a group that met here at Edinburgh University, and we're doing Vampire Hospital Waiting Room, which was created, I believe, before my time, in 2012, by some of the original core team who are still going on it, and there's a few of us that are newbies, and now we're doing Apocalypse Cruise Ship Love Affair. This is my t-shirt for it. At the same time, well, on alternating days. And it's so lovely because we fly around the mile, which normally is a really difficult task. And there's people who go, oh, yeah, we can definitely come to that.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, you're back. Yeah, it's really nice.
Really?
It's really fun.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I was at the Fringe for about 2 days last year, and this is my first full week. We're out here scouting for our Fringe at the Barn, which is a 2-week little stint that we have where we book Fringe shows from Edinburgh. We interview them. I'm here to interview people literally on the day that we book them, that they agree to come down.
Wow.
And Fringe at the Barn went really well last year with just a few acts, and there are just so many acts around here that it's kind of a testing ground, right? They're looking to road test or stress test their new material. Are there any particular shows that you've seen that you're excited to see, that you've enjoyed?
Yeah, I've seen a really interesting one I went to yesterday, which was less of seeing something, because it was a group of people put into a small shipping container, made to lie down on bunk beds, and then all the lights were turned off. There was absolutely zero light in the room, and you had to put on these headphones, and then it was just this man's voice talking to you, I guess kind of hypnotising us a little bit. There was the option to take this pill, which he stressed would do nothing, but then at the same time, psychologically, you can't take a pill and think that it's doing nothing. And you sort of went on this little journey, and the whole show is called Coma. So the idea is you were sort of in a coma and you can't move, and there's people walking around. It was brilliant. And exactly one of those sorts of things that you hope to see at Fringe, that's a bit mad, a bit different, not something you go to an ordinary theatre and see. It was an interesting experience, I'd call it that. It was an immersive experience.
Yeah, I saw a brilliant show called Beat. There's a lot of musical storytelling that seems to be going around.
Yeah.
Electrolight's doing really well.
Like gig theatre. That's what that is. Yeah,
gig theatre. Yeah. Right. Newbie. See?
Yeah. No, I didn't know that term. I think that's been coined recently. I believe that's a new thing, gig theatre.
Yeah. Which is, from what I've seen, it's essentially musicianship plus storytelling.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's it's a guy. In my case, it was a guy sitting at the drums, and he will monologue in character and then begin to incorporate music into this performance.
Interesting.
And it's great. It's I think a lot of it is doing more with less, I suppose. But it's just so inventive. It's
cool. There's a play on at our venue. We're on at Gilded Balloon, in their new venue, Paterhouse. And there's the show on directly after us is called...
Very 39 Steps.
Well, yes, isn't it? I can't say Paterhouse because it's spelled with 2 O's. You've got to say Paterhouse. And you've got to do that with your face when you'd see it as well.
It's great. There's a great line in 39 Steps, which is on at the moment. Which is
at the Barn Theatre.
Which is transferring to Theatre Royal Windsor soon.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a great line in that he goes, wait, I'm looking for a big house. Have you seen a big house?
Oh, yeah.
No big houses. What about that big house? Oh, that big house. That is a big house.
That's a house, that is.
So you're at the Paterhouse.
We're at Paterhouse, yeah. And the show after us is called Something Sinister, I believe. I've not seen it yet, but it's really popular. And it's a play with songs. And it's the songs of Belle and Sebastian. who I actually don't know, but apparently they're popular popular musicians. And, but it's a play with songs as opposed to a musical, which I think it's an interesting sliding scale, isn't it, between this gig theatre, plays with songs, then musicals. Then you've got so many actor muso stuff, and then now there's loads of improvised musical comedy things going on. But there are very few comedy B musicals, which is what we are with Beach Comet.
And the B musical is
a new concept. B musical is a new concept. We actually coined the term in 2012. I say we as a company, but now there's a few more. There's people on the mile coming around about a brand new comedy B musical. We're like, whoa. But what it is it's like a B movie is a bit rubbish and therefore very funny. That's the style of comedy that we bring forth. If anyone's seen The Room, our director is a massive fan of The Room, which is an absolutely hilarious movie.
It's like a Tommy Wiseausical.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Tommy Wiseausical. That's what it is. And it's very, very fun. And I think the whole shows spring from the titles. So as you can imagine, Vampire Hospital Waiting Room. I believe that was a phrase that was improved into existence because a lot of our cast were in the Improverts, so we're still going. They're having a 30th anniversary this year at the Bedlam Theatre, which is the Edinburgh Uni improv troupe. And that phrase came out, I think I'm getting this story right, and someone said, hey, you could do a whole play out of that. And so they did. And then the second one, Apocalypse Cruise Ship Love Affair, came from the title. And we'd love to do a third one. And I'll tell you what, the group chat discussing what the third title should be is very funny. It's so long, just like this ridiculous. They go through all different territory, very rude. Also some of them quite tame. One word. Nah, we wouldn't go for one word. It's always got to be at least 4 or 5 words, hasn't it?
Of course. Well, as in the spirit of the B movie. Right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's worth sometimes going too far and then dialing it back.
Yeah, exactly. My God, I'd hate for the public to get hold of that chat if anyone were to see. We'd probably go to jail. Yeah.
So you're back with us. We're all over the UK at the moment. You've been in London doing a show, doing Benjamin Button. Right? That did really well.
Beautiful show. Yeah, it's one of my favourite shows I've ever done. Actually, it was by along with another of my favourite shows I've done, which was by the same composer. Funnily enough, I don't think there's much coincidence going on there. But composed by Darren James Clark, who's an absolute genius, and directed and written by Jethro Compton, who's a big name at the Fringe from years ago. He did the Bunker trilogy, made his name there, and they teamed together to do this beautiful new version of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which was just a stunning piece of actor-musician theatre. It was like excellent fun to do, really, really moving. That I've not had a single other show where I've been sobbing on stage in the last song of the musical. I've had it before, because normally I get 2 weeks after the show ends, I then think, oh wait, what am I doing with my life? Where's everyone gone? At which point I get sad. But I've never before lost myself in that way on stage and at the end of a show. So apart, of course, from when I was at the Barn Theatre, because that's the best show I've ever done.
We don't have to go that far. We don't have to be that contrived. So the tears come usually with lack of shows rather than
it's like post-show blues. It's like missing it.
But
this was just a very moving production, and so the final because it was uplifting, not because it was gloomy, because there was so much. I think that was it. It was quite a sad storyline. Actually, if you were to extract all the points of the story, there's lots of sadness, but because it was the whole thing was treated in a very uplifting way, it made it really, really heart-wrenching. It was excellent.
Makes me want to go see the film, because I've never seen it.
Yeah, the movie's different, I believe. It was a short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which is not a very nice story. The man of Benjamin Button isn't a very nice man. And then the movie is like a 2.5 hour long love story between Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. And then ours was completely different, set in Cornwall. And it was still a love story, but a different one. So it was fun.
I suppose it's kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or the guy with the painting. Right.
Dorian Gray.
The picture of Dorian Gray, or any of that. It's this. It's the concept is the strongest part of the story, and then it's kind of just a story around that superpower or whatever.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yeah. And I heard that went really well. Benjamin Button. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to see it. But what was the response like to that show? I mean, it was clearly very impactful.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. I think the fact that we sold out. We were only on for 3.5 weeks at Southwark Playhouse, and and we sold out. I think in so many performances were just gone. So many people saying, "Oh, it sounds like it's really good. I'm going to come along." We're like, we can't because there's just no tickets left, which is a great feeling. I think speaks for itself. And the number of sobbing humans in that audience at different points throughout the play, and then they'd hang around afterwards and say to us, it wasn't necessarily because they were like, "Oh, you've made me feel sad." It was more just this sense of having gone through something. And so there'd be certain points in the play where we'd see tissues sort of flapping around, and we'd hear there was some people really couldn't control themselves. Sort of going the show, you'd be like, yeah, all right, we're still going.
You got to be professional.
That's it.
Stay focused.
Yeah, but that finished in when did that finish? Like April, I think, or May, and then that ended, and then got in rehearsals for this at Fringe, and then next up will be Daddy Longlegs at the Barn.
Yeah, well, and we did just shoot a little interview with you, but I suppose we should go over that again for the podcast, if that's all right.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Not rehashing, but tell me what you know about Daddy Longlegs. Obviously, it's very early on in the process, but we've just released our cast, which is very cool. You can check out What's on Stage or Broadway World or anything like that for the cast announcement. But what do you know about the show, and what about it appeals to you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be playing the cello in the band, and that's actually what appealed about it. What appealed
about it to you?
To
what
me?
Appealed to you about it?
What appealed?
What appealed?
It appealed to me because...
Yes.
Let's go with that. Because of this really nice, intimate, small band. It's just a piano, acoustic guitar and cello, which was stripped back. I believe it was originally written for 3 more instruments. I think it was bass, drums and violin as well. But then they stripped it back and made it this really, really small little group, and it's just a cast of 2. So I'm so excited to get to know the rest of the team and to immerse myself again in another really nice sort of collaborative process, because it's inevitably going to be that when it's a small team. It's so nice to be able to say, oh look, well I could do this at this moment, but at the same time Daddy Longlegs is an existing musical, so we know that it's good, we know that it's won those awards, we know the music is moving, we know the songs and the melodies are lovely, so it's going to be really, really enjoyable to just get to know a new musical, because I've not seen it, I don't really know it particularly well. I've heard some of the songs in there just to die for, so I can't wait. I'm really excited to get involved.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there's a definite difference when every member of a company loves what they're doing. You know, you can hear it in the performance. You can hear it in the development and the kind of arrangement of the show itself. You know, and I think that has been the case, luckily enough, with every one of our shows so far. And to have you back is just great.
Yeah, can't wait.
There's nothing better actually than to kind of jump in again, knowing how far you can go. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited for Daddy Longlegs coming up. And that is running from the 2nd of October to the 2nd of November. So it's running for a whole month. We've got a whole play to get it to Windsor before that time. So if anyone's down in London, they can check that out. But I suppose if we could sign off, Ros, if you could tell me exactly where people can catch your show at the Fringe, if they happen to be up in Edinburgh, as many of my friends are. And we'll leave it there.
We are on at 2:15 every single day in Paterhouse on Chambers Street, which is a gilded balloon venue in the centre of town, not far from the Royal Mile, so it's easy to find. We alternate shows each day, and then on the weekends we do bonus shows because of popular demand. So we're on at 11:30 and 2:15 on Saturdays and Sundays with Vampire Hospital Waiting Room and Apocalypse Cruise Ship Love Affair, and they just alternate. So I'm not entirely sure which one's at 11:30 or 2:15 on the weekends, but you can find out on the Ed Fringe website.
Tickets for Daddy Longlegs as well you can check out at barntheatre.org.uk, and that will be on from the 2nd of October to the 2nd of November. You can catch Rosalind Ford in Daddy Longlegs in a few months' time. Catch you next time for another Barn Theatre podcast. See you next time with someone else, talking to someone else. Bye.
Bye.
That either will land in the recording or it won't.